Welcome to the Dreamlands for some more Deserts of Kharak multiplayer. This time around, we have got a 1 versus 1 ranked ladder match. It's going to be on Torin Crater, and once again the classic matchup of Coalition versus Galcian. Always a pleasure to play, watch, and cast. Pretty excited, and we have got two very solid players going. So let's just get our bearings here on the map. We are, well, we will call this south for now. It's not really, but for the sake of ease, we're going to call it south. So spawning on the south side of Torin Crater and making his debut on my channel, we are going to have Mirat Galcian playing as the Galcian. And this is very cool. I love this player's name. Very loreful, if that's even a word. Probably isn't, but whatever. Very lore-friendly name. Mirat Galcian was in fact a famous Galcian Kithsa who notoriously ordered the destruction of the city of Sajuka, resulting in the Galcians' exile into the deep desert. So that's very, very cool. He is a player that has been around in the scene for quite some time. I just haven't had the pleasure of casting one of his games yet. So that should be pretty cool. And he's got some nice colors too. I like these earthy colors on the Galcian carrier. Looks pretty sweet. Alright, his opponent spawning on the north side of Torin Crater. It is going to be none other than Sinistro, the man himself, a pillar of the community. Sinistro is the guy that runs the Artifact Cup tournament, which has just had its 31st entry, which is very, very cool. Solid player, been around for a very long time, and of course playing as the Coalition, and it looks like he is up to no good right off the bat. Look at this, very unusual. No support cruiser, and an absolute ton of LAVs, 3, 6, 7 LAVs already streaming out across the map. Base runner in position to actually grab Mirat Galcian's natural. Well, no, I guess that's not the case.
Set charges right there.
He's going to, Sinistro is going to grab his natural, and there is, of course, a base runner out on the field for Mirat Galcian, going to grab his natural, and that's going to come under heavy assault from Sinistro's LAV, so we are getting right into the action. There is an armor upgrade also already out for Sinistro's LAV, so this base runner is toast. There is no way it's going to make it in. However, on the plus side, this is going to alert Mirat Galcian to Sinistro's play and give him a little bit of time, hopefully, to get an answer out onto the field. He does have his production cruiser in a forward position on the map, and that is going to come under threat from these LAVs, so he's going to have to get the hell out of there. What has he got for tech?
Base runner destroyed.
Well, he's fully saturated his main, and he is long hauling with double salvagers on CUs from his first wreck bulkhead. Now, he does have an assault ship in production. Is it going to be enough, though? That is the question. There are already 6 LAVs, 7 LAVs momentarily, right on top of this production cruiser. Boom. The assault ship pops, and look at that thing. That is going to start pumping out some heavy AoE damage onto these LAVs. Really nice positioning as well, hugging this dune. LAVs can actually outrange and kite assault ships to death, so it's got to be pretty careful about that. On the back of this assault, Sinistro was able to secure an artifact, bringing him up to 1-0. Pretty nice. Those LAVs are going to be forced into a full retreat. Did he even lose any, is the question. The answer is yes. Let's check out how many. One LAV went down for 1 base runner. Now with a couple more assault ships onto the field, Mirat Galcian looks to be going on the offensive. And look at this, Sinistro, as prepared as ever. He does have an quadruple 4 AAVs on the field, backed up by his carrier with double levels of power into weapons. So Mirat Galcian's going to have a hard time pushing into this. He does have an armor upgrade for his assault ships. And there's going to be some nice action already. Actually, let me check the map because I saw LAVs Okay, they're actually going to go around for a flank and try and pick off this production cruiser. Really, really nice move. Let's watch this combat. Sinistro getting his wall of smoke up to block line of sight from these assault ships onto the AAVs, but look at them wreck all of those LAVs. Oh, beautiful. Very, very nicely played. I like that. That was actually a really good move from Mirat, bringing his assault ships to the other side of the smoke and using them to decimate all of those AAVs. Continuing to put the pressure on. Really nice focus fire coming out of Mirat onto each individual AAV, and subsequently Coercer showing his Sinistro, pardon me, showing his micro chops, bringing back each damaged AAV to the range of the carrier and shunting some power into repair beams. What a battle. If I was Mirat Galcian, I would ignore all of these AAVs, to tell you the truth, and I would go directly for the salvagers. That's where you're going to do the most damage. Nice smoke comes out right on top of the salvagers, and that's going to buy some time for Sinistro to clean this up. Clean it up, you will. Brutal fighting on both ends of the map here so far. This game is kicking off with a bang. Oh boy, and as Sinistro runs out of smoke, Mirat gets on top of his salvagers, cleans up a bunch of salvagers. Let's bring the UI back up and check what's going on. Still keeping his production cruiser out here, and now transitioning for some odd reason into sand skimmers, probably anticipating a railgun tech switch from Sinistro, which would be the correct response to these assault ships. And on the back of this, Sinistro goes up 2-0, while Mirat has been having his attention on the attack. Sinistro is able to multitask, get that base runner to deliver a second artifact, and he's actually going for a third on the back of this, being forced now to use his carrier to push off all of these assault ships. Mirat's going to grab a, what are those things called? A logistics module for his trouble, which is always a nice pickup. That's going to cost Sinistro 250, I believe. Yes, it is 250. You can tell I haven't played this game in a little while. Oh man, little bit of a misplay here by Mirat. He's going to have his production cruiser right in the line of fire from all 5 of these AAVs. That thing is going to go down. But for his trouble, Sinistro has lost all of his salvagers now. And in return, Mirat is going to lose all of his assault ships and his production cruiser, while Sinistro still has 5 AAVs on the field, which is a pretty significant force. And if he decides to push out against Mirat's going to be in big trouble. Sinistro also has an LAV keeping tabs on Mirat's natural. Going to put in a little bit of harassment, no doubt, on these salvagers. What an interesting game so far. And Mirat is floating an absurd amount of CUs. Holy smokes. But he has transitioned into interceptors, which is a nice call. He's got 1 in the hangar and 2 in production. Oof. What an interesting game. We're going to have to see how this turns out. Sinistro looks to have his carrier production upgrade. Yes, he does. So he is fully saturated once again on his main. Going to try and re-establish his economy, and at the same time push out with all of these 5 AAVs, which still have the 1 armor upgrade. And we've got a airstrike coming in from Mirat Galcian. Oh, and they were originally en route to the salvagers, but they have spotted the AAVs moving across the map in their path, and so they are going to divert fire onto them, which is the correct response. Going to take out 2 of the advancing AAVs, perhaps 3 now. Yes, 3 it is. And put heavy, heavy damage onto the remaining 2. So once these things get up into Mirat's lines, he may have a little bit of trouble, but he does have his production cruiser being rebuilt in the queue currently. His power shunted into weapons, so he should be able to hold this off. Question is, can he hold it off without suffering catastrophic economic damage? Look at the value Coercer, or Sinistro. I don't know why I keep calling him Coercer. Jeez.
Carrier under attack.
That's kind of weird. Sinestro and Coercer are nothing alike in playstyle or in personality. Anyway, that was pretty interesting to see the amount of value Sinestro has gotten out of that single LAV, picking up 2 salvagers. Now the Galcian carrier is going to be forced to engage these 2 AAVs, which are simply keeping Mirat off of Sinestro's behind for the time being. But look at this, 3-0 in terms of artifacts, and Sinestro's base runner carrying a 4th artifact in. Mirat looks like he's confident he can handle this AAV with his carrier, and he is correct about that. He is going to put some damage out onto this base runner before sending his interceptors in to start cleaning up some salvagers. Can they do it though? And the answer is probably no, because Sinestro has now got 1 level of power shunted into his repair beams, so that is going to be able to repair all of this damage put out by these interceptors, and that's going to force them back home with some light anti-air fire from the base runners. And now, with a missile battery on the field, he is looking in pretty good shape, so nice comeback from Sinestro. He's got the correct unit composition that he needs to combat what Mirat has on the field, sending 3 more AAVs across the map, still with 1 armor, and a 2nd base runner here, which is pretty interesting. Is he going to put down a turret? I suspect that he is, just because of the positioning on that base runner, and sending up his missile battery to support these AAVs. Immense aggression coming out from both players, but it looks like Sinestro is going to be able to deliver the 4th artifact. He's moments away, and that is going to put Mirat in a pretty damn desperate situation here. Does he have production cruiser refinery mode? He does not. He's currently researching railgun fabrication. He is saturated on his main again, and is now pumping out salvagers to start mining from his first wreck bulkhead. Finally, Sinestro starts long-hauling resources from his wreck bulkhead as well.
Ready for operations.
And outside of that, we've got some more interceptors in production. The problem is going to be this missile battery. That's going to be able to shut them down pretty hard. So what is Mirat going to do about these 3 AAVs, which are about to start wreaking havoc on his mineral line yet again? Or his resourcing operation. Pardon me, these aren't minerals and that's not a line, so... Oof. Nice flank coming out from Sinestro with these AAVs. Going to start putting this damage out on top of these salvagers. Even a nice smoke here to keep that 1 assault ship off their back. Oh, this is going to be a ton of damage. He's probably going to clean up this entire salvaging operation. Nice use of smoke again. And Mirat Galcian started out pretty damn strong, had quite a nice advantage, and I think his mistake was putting his production cruiser where it shouldn't have been. Oh, but he's able to totally avoid the missile battery, and he's going to use his interceptors to start putting damage onto this base runner, which is what he has to do. He has to prevent this from being delivered, because that is game, and it looks like he's going to be able to do that. So, still hanging on. These 2 assault ships going toe-to-toe with these 3 AAVs, evening up the unit count. A 3rd AAV now joining the ranks from across the map, and some nice cover from that missile battery. Mirat Galcian is in a pretty rough position right now, I've got to say. Needs some railguns. Oh, he does have one. I just heard it, but it was destroyed somewhere. Where's his production cruiser? Oh my god, look at this. He's gone double production cruiser. How did I miss that? Double production cruisers, and they're right on top of Sinestro's salvaging operation. 4 assault ships. They're going to clean up all of these salvagers with support from a couple sand skimmers. An assault railgun up on the high ground. That is going to get cleared up. This is actually an insane game. This is going to clean up pretty much Sinestro's entire resourcing operation and a lot of his units. What he doesn't want to do at this point in the game is lose these production cruisers. He wants to get them back and start pumping out railguns. That's what he needs to do. I hope he does that. Very, very nice play. Can't believe that escaped my notice. Rather foolish of me. However, that is going to force Sinistro to recall all of his forces, which is very, very nice. Not going to make the same mistake again either. Mirat is going to retreat with his 2 production cruisers, which is exactly what he needs to do. And now the tables have turned once again, with Mirat able to take an economic advantage after a very, very ballsy counterattack. However, Sinistro has got his second base runner grabbing the mid artifact, and it is being covered by this missile battery. Very, very nice play. The interceptors are going to focus fire onto the missile battery, but that is not going to work out too well. One's going to go down. The second one is surely going to go down as well. Oh, close. No. The second wing of interceptors is launched, finishing off that missile battery. And now they're going to be able to stop this base runner from delivering that 5th and final artifact. Very, very nice play from Mirat, keeping him in the game, letting him even take an economic advantage, preventing Sinistro from taking any more artifacts. This is forcing Sinistro to push out with his carrier, but good grief, look at the amount of power he's got from delivering those 4 artifacts. He's got 3 power in weapons and 3 in range, and that is a terrifying sight indeed. He's going to force Mirat off with these double production cruisers. What an insane game. Both players, it's been like over 15 minutes, and both players have not yet gone to more than a single resource location, both mining long haul from their second. That is crazy. Now we've got some railguns out on the field for Mirat, the assault variety. Very, very nice. He's got to watch out for a flank by these AAVs. Using this terrain here and this terrain here, he could get his AAVs directly on top of all this stuff and do a ton of damage. Look at this. This is a nice composition. 2 assault railguns to screen, 2 heavy railguns in the back. And Sinistro does not want to engage this. Apparently he does, though. He's going to clean up both of these assault railguns very, very quickly. And these heavy railguns have to get the hell out of the way. Very nice use of smoke again by Sinistro, allowing his AAVs to get right on top of these production cruisers and cleaning up 2 assault railguns and a heavy railgun even, forcing Mirat off. Very, very nice play by Sinistro. Got. This is it. Very glad I chose to cast this game. It's very, very unusual. Now going back to producing assault ships, and Sinistro transitioning into some LAVs. No doubt to try and use this terrain to good effect to get his LAVs behind these railguns and clean them up, while the assault ships are in the forward position. Assault ships are great for tanking damage and screening for your heavy railguns. Does Mirat have the ranged calibration? He does not. Unfortunately, that is one of the best upgrades in the game, in my opinion. Something you should always get if you're getting heavy railguns. He's going to come in and start screening with these assault ships while the heavy railguns pour their fire in from halfway across the battlefield. Air support coming in from the interceptors and is going to focus fire on these LAVs because those are the only things that can damage the interceptors, so that's a great target to choose. But the carrier is just going to eat these assault ships for breakfast. In the process, he is going to start taking fire from a big number of railguns, 3 of them heavy railguns to be exact. 2 more assault ships pop to screen, and Sinistro, out of desperation, is going to push forward with his carrier, targeting the heavy railguns with those long-ranged weapons, allowing the AAVs to get on top of these assault ships. And once again, with fantastic use of his carrier, Sinistro is going to push off Mirat.
Defense alert. Production cruiser engaging the enemy.
Oh boy, almost all of the railguns go down. There's only a single railgun left on the field. The rest of Mirat's forces have been destroyed by this monster of a carrier. This assault ship is taking a brutal beating. This railgun's going to go down. Mirat is going to be forced into a full retreat here. Let's check this out. This is awesome. Never underestimate what a lone carrier can do when he's got power in weapons. It is a terrifying sight indeed. Oof. One of his production cruisers taking punishing fire from the missile system on the carrier. Carrier switching targets now, which I don't think is a good idea. There we go. You want to keep all your damage on a single target until it's destroyed. You're going to force Oh, Mirat into a full retreat, take down one of his production cruisers, and look at this carrier just solo this entire army. Magnificent. I think Sinistro is going for the kill. He needs some support cruisers though to put some healing power onto this carrier, because this carrier is on fire, smoke is billowing off the deck, and now some interceptors are in the sky and they're going to start pouring fire onto the remaining units of Sinistro. They're going to clean up all of these AAVs. There's no way they're going to get anywhere near Mirat's carrier, and Sinistro's carrier is going to go into retreat. What a play, but he has no salvagers, he has no economy. He's actually going to be forced to transition into having his third as his main, which is hilarious. Mirat Galcian continuing to produce heavy railguns. He does have another production cruiser now on the field. Where is it though?
Point verified.
Armored craft under attack.
New course set.
Am I blind? How is he producing heavy railguns if he doesn't have a production cruiser? And if he does, where is it? Because I don't see it on the map anywhere.
For you require more RUs.
Maybe that's a visual bug.
Awaiting. Send command.
Looks like Mirat has mined out his main. He's going to have to move his carrier. There was a bit of a backstab coming out from Sinistro. He's going to put some damage out onto the salvagers. Meanwhile, Mirat's interceptors are going to go and keep cleaning up all of Sinistro's salvagers. Now Sinistro has no salvagers. He's only got a carrier. His carrier is on fire, smoke billowing off the deck, and he has nothing currently to answer Mirat's forces, even though his forces are pretty slim, with nothing but a couple of interceptors in the sky. Yeah, I think this is a visual bug. There's no way that he is producing heavy railguns when he does not have production cruisers on the map. Is he going to get production cruisers? That is the question. Oh, he doesn't have enough resources. Oh, that's hilarious. He's got to use these interceptors to clean up these LAVs, or his carrier, which is currently the slowest unit in the history of Kharak. He's never going to catch these LAVs.
Confirmed. Moving to extract resources.
Is that a support cruiser? It is, finally. Sinistro gets a support cruiser on the field. That is going to keep him in this game, I think. But it doesn't have the anti-air upgrade, unfortunately, so... But that's not a problem, because it looks like Sinistro has shunted 3 levels of power into the repair beams, so he's going to be repairing the support cruiser as the support cruiser repairs him. It'll allow him to hopefully build up his economy just a little bit, and maybe this game is going to turn around. The problem is Mirat has to kill Sinistro in 7 minutes, or Sinistro will win by default.
Target set. Launching.
Oh, is that support cruiser going to go down?
Salvager online.
I think Sinistro wants to take all of his power and put it into repair beams, because currently he does not have enough repair to keep that thing alive with this many interceptors in the sky. Nope, there it goes. Oh, and now the carrier is going to start taking the brunt of all of this firepower.
Artifact signal confirmed. It must be seized.
Yeah, I think this game is going to go to Mirat Galcian. There is nothing that Sinistro can do. Currently, he has simply got a carrier that is on the verge of exploding. He's in full retreat, and he is just going to be eating missiles from the sky. So very, very interesting game. I like it. Both players uncharacteristically playing very offensive. You rarely see this. Typically when one player takes the offensive role, the other player plays defense and tries to get an economic lead. But this game, both players went super aggressive and kept destroying the opponent's economy, which was pretty interesting, made for a very unusual and interesting dynamic. But there it goes. Air dominance once again from our Galcian player. And Mirat Galcian is going to take the game. So, very, very cool game. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Leave a thumbs up if you did. Let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and I will see you guys for the next game.